Hello, world again. I need to start making more of these videos. I want you guys to meet me. When I say you guys, I mean the planet, but I don't know how things are gonna play out. You know? 3 months ago, I almost lost my life in a car accident. Things are unpredictable sometimes, you know? But the more you have on me, and the more I leave behind, the better. You'll have some books. Last time I was here, you didn't even have pictures. You'll have pictures of me. You'll have some videos for sure. I'm putting them up on my YouTube channel, but I mean, you guys need to know the truth and what's going on here, you know? I mean, I get it. I'm 34. To some people, that's, you know, I was, 30 the last time I did this? 31, 32, you know? History doesn't know for sure, and I don't either, but yeah, things didn't go as planned, because the reality is no one thought I was going to pull this off. I created the universe a long time ago. I then I first had 2 prototypes come down, Adam and Eve. That was a big deal. It was the first time one of us, beings from heaven was able to walk the planet in human form. As mankind started to procreate, cities, started popping up. The first real scripture was introduced in the Old Testament. Once we saw you guys weren't able to, really get what we were trying to get across from heaven, I had to come down in person the first time. I said what I said, spread across the globe. And then that's when things got interesting when I went home. Not everyone, a lot of people know to me, it's the biggest part of the prophecy I left behind was I would return. A lot of people thought it'd be from the sky, and so did I. And what happened is I sent down 2 witnesses, Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob, to author the 12 steps, which were the 12-step guide for the rapture, but they were disguised as a means to stay sober for addicts and alcoholics, because in heaven, an addict or an alcoholic is actually someone close to God and high ranking in the kingdom of heaven. And down here, they're a junkie, you're a drunk. Funny how things work, huh? So, anyways, they did that, and came up to heaven. We had this plan. Since I guided them, they would guide me when I get down here. I'd come down here, go through the steps, pretty much insert my name in step 2, let everybody know that the other steps, it's not a God of your own understanding or a doorknob, it's God your Father. And I was going to introduce God as your mother as well into those steps, which she's not anymore. And that would be it. And things fell apart. I left heaven. I had to go to hell. People didn't like that I sent people to hell. I made some mistakes, so I had to go to hell and rescue them from hell as many people as I could. Some of them came back with me into this world. And maybe when I was like a baby, a toddler, pretty quickly after I left heaven, Bill and Bob and pretty much, I would say 70% of AA and NA and any 12-step people that went to heaven turned on me. They were like, he's not going to pull it off. That's impossible. There's no way he's going to go down there as a hardcore opiate addict. IV using opiate addict, get sober, get through the steps, and author literature or do something to let the world know he's back and everyone needs to do the 12 steps. And that's actually exactly what happened without them even helping me. I did it on my own, came back and authored that book, which will be the book everyone will be reading. Because that's the book where I actually give them credit and I thank them. And, I appreciate you doing this for me and guiding me, when the reality was they actually took over the kingdom of heaven. They tried to run this universe. um, my mom, old mom, the Holy Spirit, was she bought into this plan, and so it broke into two sides: people who followed me, Jesus, and people who bought into this crazy idea that we're going to get the entire planet to join AA, and that's, you know, what they thought they were going to do: get the entire planet to join AA. And it had 33 years to try to wreck my second coming, and because of what they did, they're not going to be around anymore. You know, once they get back to heaven, it's already been decided. Uh, they go through something called annihilation. They're removed from creation. I call her the unholy spirit now. She goes to girl hell, and now she'll start overseeing girl hell. So that's what her job is. Because, you know, Satan used to be in charge of just hell, and the problem with that is people would go there, and if you were a female, you're gonna get raped. It's hell. It's awful. You know, you can't defend yourself there. There's no nice guy like me sticking up for you. There's no fair God. You're dealing with Satan, the god of destruction. So the unholy spirit will now be overseeing girl hell, and she's been kicked out of the Holy Trinity. And you know, now there's a new Trinity. Now the new Trinity is now God. It's actually more than a Trinity. It's a three-sided pyramid. Where the Trinity, there used to just be three members. It was a triangle. Now it's a three-sided pyramid with a God the Father at the top. I'm at the heart of it. He's like the brain, and I'm at the heart. I'm at the heart, and then keeping God company at the top is our new, most divine Heavenly Mother. She's a big deal, very big deal. And then keeping me company in the middle is this perfect being called the Immaculate Goddess. And she's my girlfriend, my wifey, my goddess, all that stuff. And so we'll be, you know, in the middle of heaven, kind of like paradise will be surrounded by us, with God at the top overseeing all of it. And then there's, you know, still three corners at the bottom of that pyramid. And those three corners are going to be offspring from myself and the Immaculate Goddess, and then God and our most divine Mother. And we'll pair them up, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, in the three different corners. And so we're going to have omnipotent goddesses throughout the kingdom, with me at the center of it. And we will be overseeing creation, expanding that pyramid. It's actually a tetrahedron. It has the ability to grow out and get bigger. You know, there's not gravity there, but on the inside of it, it's just paradise. It's pure paradise. More so than, because the old heaven, it was tainted. They went in there and they tried to change stuff around and make it theirs. Some, like, you know, paradise of people that worship doorknobs and aliens and did the 12 steps in the AA manner instead of the correct manner, and they just like turned it into like I don't know, something that wasn't worth keeping. So they were all blocked out of heaven, a lot of them. Anyone who followed Bill and Bob was kicked out of heaven, our new heaven. And they don't, you know, they're over there now, withering away. And when I get home, I'll take care of them. Give them a nice little, they want to be like me, they want to take my kingdom, they think they are me. We'll crucify them, heaven style, you know. I might have mentioned this in past videos, it's hard to remember sometimes, but I just know I gotta start leaving videos for you guys because, like I said, I don't know if you'll ever meet me. I don't. What is today? It's like December 20th, 2022, but just got done watching Animal Kingdom. It's a really cool movie, or a movie, TV show. It's not about animals, it's about bank robbers out in Southern California. So it's cool. Oh, I was right, yeah. 20th of December. So it would be cool to be on the scene with you guys, meet all you cool celebrities. Always want to meet Taylor Swift, I like her. But yeah, I mean, I miss home, I do. I think about it, you know, imagine knowing there's a paradise beyond here where you have a beautiful goddess waiting for you, and a bunch of your followers, and your dad that you haven't seen for a very long time, and returning home against all odds, like more than successful. Because, like I said, everyone turned on me up there. Everyone but my followers, but unfortunately, the people in power, I left the wrong people in power. That's what it came down to, and they took over. Like, I trusted them, they took over, and now everything in creation and exists. It's better. It's better, don't get me wrong, but everything changed. Like, I'm writing this book for you guys to read, The Immaculate Trinity, and it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a very big deal. And I was, the chapter yesterday I was doing was the Book of Revelations decoded. I was decoding the Book of Revelations for you guys, and there's a lot in there, but it's just like the reality is it's been translated so many times, and it was a dream that John had, and most people can't even remember their dreams from the night before, and this poor guy had to remember an entire book worth that was going to go in the Bible. So, like, there's just some wrong stuff in there. I mean, some of it's good, like, I did decode some of it, but other parts of it, like, there's some stuff that's really good, that, like, the seven churches, and, it talks about the 144,000. The only part about because, there's some parts in there about the witnesses, it talks about them, but it talks about them dying and resurrecting, and it's just like that's not what happened. No, and it's not gonna happen. They just came down. They're not coming back ever. They're not gonna exist anymore. But the Angel in the Mighty Book, which was the big book, a little bit about my biological mom, reaping of the grapes of wrath, and then tonight I'm gonna be doing the equation. The chapter is called The Equation, which, like, it kind of how it starts off is to understand how we got here. You got to understand how it all started, because we're not at the end. This is honestly just the beginning of everything, but it's the end of a lot of the way you guys know things, not just on this planet but in heaven, because all the cool people are in heaven. Like, I know you guys are, I designed this place so you get attached to it. The whole purpose of this place is so you could come here and almost you didn't know that there was heaven or any gods out there. That's the whole purpose of it, so we could see how you behaved when you thought we weren't looking. What did you do? Did you tell the truth? How did you treat your significant other? Did you steal? Did you lie? And then you were given tests. Maybe one of the deadly sins would have been attached to you. How would you have handled it? If we give you the deadly cyst of gluttony to take on, would have you just became a fat potato couch, or would have you fought it and been in shape? Yeah, it's like a one-way mirror that we could all watch you guys. We could all watch you guys and see how you handle things. And like I said, it's almost too good. It's almost too good because it almost works too well, and that's why I had to come down here twice in person to do this. Relay messages from heaven. I did it 2,000 years ago, and I want that was good enough to last a long time. Like, that original message went really far, and then it went until it couldn't anymore, and then we put down the United States Constitution. That was around the time I stopped sending people to hell. I had to stop turning people away who lived a good, honest life, but maybe they just didn't believe in me. I had to just swallow my pride, stop doing that, to where it was like, oh, well, look at you. You were a great mom, and you had a awesome community that loved you, and you helped others, but, oh, you didn't believe in me. You're going to hell. I couldn't do it anymore. I did it for a long time. But it's like, how could I send a girl to a place where she's going to guaranteedly get raped because she didn't believe in me? It just worked. Like I said, it worked for a bit, and then it didn't. And so the United States Constitution came down, and that was big because it was like, we just let all religions and everything come here, and we saw, like, okay, how are people going to do it? And what we still saw is people that followed my teachings, they still rose to the top in business and culture, spiritually, So, and then when you really raise the when you're like really reach your pinnacle, um, you become an addict or alcoholic. You develop this sixth sense to connect to the gods and goddesses of heaven by just taking a drink or a pill. You know, that's to you guys, it's like a sickness or a disease or something like that. But the reality is, it's actually a very divine power. And if you don't believe me, to all the addicts and alcoholics out there, next time you're drinking or using and you got that buzz going on, pray. And don't pray to God apologizing. Don't pray to God to help you to stop. Just sit there and watch and try to connect to the heavens, you know? Because they're above us. That pyramid that they're building, I'm talking about, it's up. Universe, pyramid, hell's down here. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that one out. I'm starting to finally piece it all together. But yeah, so that's how it works. And you leave this universe and you do right, God, because you can still get sent to hell. You know, it's not like how it used to be, or if you don't believe in me, you get sent to hell. But you know, you still are a shitty person. We're gonna send you there. You know, heaven's only for the best, and we just had a heavenly cleansing. Like I said, all men, for the most part, who followed Bill and Bob and tried to wreck my second coming, they're not going to exist anymore. There were some at the bottom, you know, like at the bottom of the, the like workers, like the foot soldiers, where I gave them a chance because I was like, they were just taking orders. They were lied to. They were told, don't go over to his side, blah, blah, blah. He's this and that. And then they got there and they're just like, I thought this guy's a monster. He walks around in skate shoes and Levi's and talks about God. What are these people talking about? So, give them the chance. All the women and children were sent to hell, the girl hell. Once the children turn 18, they go to the guy hell. All the male children were. I don't want their seed passed along, so they've all been converted into a bunch of bottom gays. I didn't want to say that one. That's how I did it. Being God, I have that ability, and I didn't want anything from any kind of DNA from that, or man's DNA from people that didn't believe in me and tried to wreck my second coming and make sure that I failed, take my kingdom, and do all sorts of terrible shit to have their children, their male children, pass along their genes. So, when you're a guy that likes guys, that doesn't happen. But that said, I do very much support the LGBTQ community. I talk shit, but you guys are just the next step in that. One, I can't say the next because that means everybody, but you're kind of one of the next steps in evolution because it's an overpopulated world, and as a male, mating with a male, and a female mating with a female, you don't add to the overpopulation problem. You don't create a kid. You guys actually adopt kids, and that helps. I've seen neighborhoods that are completely run down, just the hood, and a bunch of you L's and G's and B's will move in there, and within 2 or 3 years are popping with restaurants and boutiques and fancy lofts. So you clean up places, which I respect. But yeah, I just didn't want you to take offense of me turning all the male children of the followers of Bill and Bob gay. But I just didn't want their seed passed along. And yeah, the women, and like I said, they all go to girl hell with the unholy spirit. So if they ever want to get back and hang out with us again, they're gonna have to stay there for a bit, then come back to this universe, and then maybe hopefully they'll do things right, and then they can go to heaven. That's how it works. Heaven's a place to be. Everyone wants to be there. It's a cool spot. It's all the goddesses are like perfect tens, and with a lot of the men wiped out now, the bad ones at least, you're going to have your pick of actually some decent gentleman gods up there. Well, they're semi-gods. So I'm a god. God is obviously a god. And then our children that are males will be gods. And then obviously there's going to be the goddesses, which is our Heavenly Mother. My immaculate goddess, she's a goddess. And then our children. Because to be a pure God, 100% a God, you got to be omnipotent, which is what I am and what God is. So there's like semi-gods, like Michael the Archangel, your new king. He's a semi-god. Um, Jessica, our gracious guardian, she's a semi-goddess. So they're like up there. They're people that followed me and believed in me and helped me through my very difficult second coming and took my side. They're going to be semi-gods and goddesses. Like there was about 30% of people that were in AA or passed away, instead of going over and hanging out with Bill and Bob and thinking that was the end all be all, they risked it and came over. So I just reward the people that have my back. I have to, especially now. You know what I mean? Like it kind of brings me to tears sometimes, but I wouldn't be here without anyone, and it's cool that they. For me, it's really cool because I was trying to pull off something impossible. Like, it wasn't crazy enough that I did that the first time, but to come back in 2022, well, I was born in 88, but to start a religion, write a book, get the word of God out into the universe again, with everything that entails living a life today, from having a job, working, the speed of the world, cars, planes, internet, everything that's in it, and then at the same time being a junkie. Like, that was what I was up against, and that's why a lot of people were like, all right, dude, I mean, you probably bit off a bit more than you could chew. And there were still some people that were like, he got this. So, I know you can't see them. It's designed, you can't see them. So that's how it's supposed to be. Because if you could see them, it defeats kind of the whole. There's a lot of purposes of this place, but one of the purposes is like, you're not going to see the gods or God. You're not going to see the goddesses. Like, what are you going to do here? But they're there. I mean, I will bet my life on it that I would die for the fact of them being there, 100%, like I did the first time. I mean, people die for a lot of things, but God or us is just something they don't die for. And I have to come down here and speak for us and speak for the truth. And, no one else is going to do it. I've tried. But it's cool. It's worth it. When you're here, it sucks. It sucks when you're here. Especially once you kind of figure out who you are. Because you miss home. I do. I miss home, and I want to go see all my friends and all that stuff. Probably sound just like someone complaining now, but yeah. But I don't know, we'll see. Probably in the next 6 months I'll be done with the books I'm writing. You guys will have them once they're released on Amazon. I'm going to buy copies, put them in bookstores, libraries, any and everywhere I could put them down. The world will have it, and that's that. I don't think I'll have to show up again in person after I die and do that whole thing, but if I have to, I will. I just need to make sure you guys read what I'm writing right now. That's the important part. I'm not leaving anything out. Make sure you do not read. There's this, like I said, at first I thought that, I thought the Holy Spirit was on my side, and which she should have been, being my mom, but, that's not the case. Ex-mom. I thought all the, Bill and Bob were on my side, and I was being guided by them. So the first book I wrote, it's sloppier, and it was, talking about my love for them and appreciation. But once I found out the truth, I was like, oh, no. So if you come across a book, the story of Justin Christ or the Gospel of Justin Christ, disregard that book, because it's the Immaculate Trinity. They're all the ones you need to worry about are going to be in the trilogy under the Final Testament, which the original book, it's confusing. The original book was the Final Testament, but it'll be obvious because I'm taking it off of the Amazon bookstore, and only the ones I want you to read you'll have, because like I said, that one is it's false doctrine, it's false scripture, because I was being blinded. That's how it works here. You have a higher power guiding you, some God up in the heavens, because they have about 3 times the population we do, 3 or 4 times the population, and you have someone guiding you who, before you came here, you probably hired or you asked to do it for you, or you just have some very powerful being up there guiding you. And that mine was built because no one else could guide me, because he introduced scripture, the 12 steps, and so he had a lot of power because of that, and I guided him, and he became king of heaven. He stole it, thought he could sit in my chair and be the third member of the Holy Trinity. All the while he's guiding me, I'm doing all these things, and I exposed him. You'll do that. It's hard. One of the hardest things I have to do is put into words the language of heaven, what I did. But I saw past the lies of my higher power, and he's now being handled, you know? So, yeah, probably should get to writing, but, you know, while I look normal, I'm omnipotent right now. Like, if I want to crash the stock market, I'll crash the stock market. If I want a tidal wave to hit the coast of California, a tidal wave will hit the coast of California. And I'm not joking. I just have no reason to do that, you know? Once you become this powerful, there's a responsibility and a maturity that comes with it. And, yeah, I mean, at this point, I'll probably just, like I said, how long will I really be alive for even when I'm walking around curing diseases and skipping along the top of the water, you know? I mean, to you guys, it might be like, no, we got to keep you around, you're great. But the reality is, I mean, before there was technology and social media or the internet, I did that for 3 years and you killed me. With how fast word spreads now, 6 months, a year, 2 years at most before. I mean, I don't think I'll be assassinated this time, but I mean, crucified this time, but I mean, assassination, absolutely. Just something, you know what I mean? So, like I said, that's why I started to make these. I want to make more. It's because I want to leave behind as much as I have, as much as I can, so you guys know. I want all my secrets to be with you. I want you guys to have everything, because it makes you better. When you return home, everyone that comes back when they die and return to heaven, they always wish they would have done more. Everyone always wished they would have done more, wish they would have done this differently. And it's always about they wish they would have gotten closer to God, because in heaven, those that get closest to God, they're at the top. They're living large. Uh, you know, once you leave here, you could be as rich as possible, but it's not going to do a damn thing for you in heaven. You can't buy your way to the top there. And how things are these days, your standing in heaven is very much tied to the life you live here. Very much. It's just this place, it's how it is. You come in here and it's like a compression chamber. It compresses you into something much greater than you are up there. You live this simple, silly life, and when you get home, yeah. But everyone always thinks they could have done more, could have done better, wish they would have done this, wish they would have done that, And it's never like they wish they would have made more money. It's always like they wish they would have done something more spiritual, because the only way to climb back up that ladder is to come back here and do it again. And when you're up there, you don't want to leave, because you leave everything behind. Any family you have up there, any career you have up there, which is different, but still, your wings, you can't fly. Everything you have, you leave for a long time. You leave it for a lifetime. And then when you come back, so you gotta make this count, because coming back sucks, They have control, they have access to everything. Like I said, there's 3 to 4 times the amount of them. They see what we see. They hear it. All of it. All of our senses, they have access to it. Our brain, they have much more advanced stuff than we do. And they can pick up, they'll look at, they can pretty much read your thoughts, but not perfectly. So it's best to write your thoughts down on paper. It's just easy. They can see it better. Or even just say it out loud. Like when you pray, say it out loud. Because like I said here, like I said, and if you're like spiritually in touch as me, they can pick up on a lot of my thoughts in a sense. I would say 80 to 90% of them. But still, I make it easy on them. I talk out loud and I pray out loud and I'll write stuff down. And then I do that, and who would have thought this is the life I would have had? But 34 now. If I make it to 37, I'll be impressed. I'm not sick, I'm not dying, but like I just covered. Once you guys know I'm here, it's game over. I mean, that's the beginning of the end for me. Once you guys know I exist, I'm back in America, wonderful state of Colorado. It's over. It's game over. I mean, I'll enjoy it as much as I can, but I don't think I'll be seeing my 40th birthday. But it'd be cool to have a kid before then, to leave my bloodline here. And I did that last time. I got Mary Magdalene pregnant before I departed. Speaking of Mary, here's another messed up thing. She was supposed to follow me 5 years, 3 to 5 years after I came here. She stayed up there and joined the other side with my mom and them. So this was like an entire one-man job I did with billions of people down here, even more billions of people up there, and I flexed on everyone. You know, not to like pat myself in the back, but I hope you guys. I'm like, I promise I'm humble, but I gotta. Sometimes the situation is just so huge that I have to joke about it and kind of, But there's no apologies to be made. I don't need to apologize about anything. I pulled off the impossible, and now you guys all have to. Or you don't have to, but all you gotta do is do 12 steps laid out in the book, The Immaculate Trinity, and you're good to go forever. You won't ever have to come back. You can probably go create your own universe. If you learn those prayers, if you get on your knees, you talk to God, you really do a good fourth and fifth step. You let go of all those character defects. You get good at those amends. You never have to come back here, and you just chill in paradise as anything you want to be and do. Because that's all we're gonna. After this, it's like we've seen this works. So I think the next thing is just have a bunch of you guys do what I did. Create your own universe. Go into your own universe and do that, And if you're not into that, you're not into that, just chill. But who wouldn't want to oversee their own universe and have a bunch of people love them and cherish them and listen to them? And, it's just, I liked it. I did it. If you have a better idea, by all means, go for it. All we got is time and basically units of measurement that we don't have are too large to just expand into. So that's all I got. Gotta finish this chapter and get to the gym. Signing off.